Welcome to my channel Coin Provenance. Today we will discover the most rare coin that was sold for millions in auction. Stick to the end to find shocking truth about these rare coins. The 1989 Canadian 25-cent coin may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but it represents an important moment in Canada's modern coinage history and continues to attract attention from collectors who understand its background, design, and composition. Issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this quarter reflects a period when Canadian currency had fully moved away from precious metals and into durable base metal coinage intended for long-term circulation. By the late 1980s, the Royal Canadian Mint had refined its production techniques, focusing on efficiency, consistency, and strong national symbolism, all of which are clearly reflected in the 1989 issue. Canada in 1989 was a nation experiencing steady economic development and modernization. Coinage during this time was not designed to commemorate specific historic events, but rather to serve everyday commercial needs across the country. The quarter played a crucial role in daily transactions, from public transportation to retail purchases. Millions of 25-cent coins were struck to ensure sufficient supply, making the 1989 issue widely circulated. While this high mintage means the coin is not rare in general terms, it has become a reference point for collectors studying condition rarity, varieties, and minting quality from this era. The obverse of the 1989 Canadian quarter features the well-known Arnold Mackin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This effigy was introduced in 1965 and remained in use for several decades, making it one of the longest-running portraits of the Queen on Canadian coinage. The design presents the monarch facing right, wearing a jeweled tiara, with a calm and dignified expression. Mackin's portrait is admired for its simplicity and realism, avoiding excessive ornamentation while still conveying authority and elegance. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II Dei Regina, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, a traditional phrase used on many Commonwealth coins that reinforces Canada's constitutional monarchy. The reverse of the coin displays one of the most iconic images in Canadian numismatics, the caribou. This design was created by Canadian artist Emmanuel Hahn and first appeared on the quarter in 1937. By 1989, the caribou had already become a powerful national symbol, representing Canada's vast wilderness, natural strength, and northern identity. The animal is shown standing firmly on a rocky mound, its large antlers raised in a stance that suggests resilience and endurance. Above the image appears the denomination, 25 cents, while the date, 1989, is positioned below. The enduring use of this design speaks to its popularity and its strong connection to Canadian heritage. From a compositional standpoint, the 1989 Canadian quarter is significant because it was struck entirely in nickel with a purity of 99.9%. Canada had removed silver from its quarters in 1968 due to rising metal costs, and nickel became the standard material for several decades. Nickel was chosen for its strength, resistance to wear, and ability to withstand years of circulation without significant degradation. The coin weighs 5.07 grams and has a diameter of 23.88 millimeters, with a reeded edge that helps distinguish it from other denominations by touch. Because of its nickel content, the coin is magnetic, a feature that sets it apart from earlier silver quarters and later steel-based issues. Although the 1989 quarter is common in circulated condition, collector interest remains steady, especially for examples that have survived with minimal wear. Coins that retain their original mint luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces are far less common today than they were at the time of issue. Brilliant uncirculated examples are particularly desirable among collectors assembling complete date sets of Canadian quarters. Proof and proof-like versions, often sold as part of official mint sets, feature sharper strikes and more reflective surfaces, making them even more appealing to numismatists. Another area of interest surrounding the 1989 Canadian 25 cent involves mint errors and varieties. Like all mass-produced coinage, some examples escaped the mint with imperfections. Off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, and double strikes are among the types of errors collectors look for. Depending on severity and visual appeal, such errors can command substantial premiums at auction. Even subtle differences in strike quality or die wear can influence a coin's desirability when graded by professional certification services. The 1989 quarter also holds importance as part of the final era of pure nickel circulation coinage in Canada. In the decades that followed, the Royal Canadian Mint transitioned to multiply plated steel coins, changing both the physical feel and composition of Canadian currency. As a result, nickel quarters like the 1989 issue have taken on added historical significance, representing the end of a long-standing material tradition. For many collectors, this adds another layer of appeal beyond the coin's face value. While the 1989 Canadian 25-cent may never rival the most famous rare Canadian coins, it demonstrates how even common circulation pieces can gain importance through condition, errors, and historical context. It reminds collectors that valuable coins are not always those that were rare from the start, but often those that survived decades of use in exceptional condition. For anyone interested in rare coins and high auction values, the 1989 Canadian quarter proves that careful attention and knowledge can turn an everyday coin into a meaningful collectible with lasting significance. The 1989 Canadian 25-cent coin is often overlooked because it appears identical to millions of other quarters that passed through everyday circulation. For years it was treated as nothing more than spare change, exchanged casually in shops, vending machines, and public transit systems across Canada. Yet among collectors, this particular year has become a subject of fascination, not because every example is rare, but because of what a single extraordinary coin from this issue came to represent. The story of the 1989 quarter is a reminder that rarity in numismatics is not always obvious at first glance, and that value can sometimes be hidden in the smallest details. At the time of its release, the Royal Canadian Mint produced the 1989 quarter in very large quantities to meet national demand. The coin followed the standard design used for decades, featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the iconic caribou on the reverse. Nothing about the official specifications suggested that this would be a standout issue. It was struck in nearly pure nickel, durable and practical, meant to survive years of circulation. For the average Canadian, the 1989 quarter held no special meaning beyond its face value, and for a long time collectors shared that same opinion. As the years passed, however, collectors began paying closer attention to modern-era coins, especially those produced during periods of high-speed minting. Large-scale production increases the chance of mistakes, and mistakes are where rarity often begins. While most 1989 quarters show consistent weight, alignment, and strike quality, a tiny number were discovered with unusual characteristics. Some displayed irregular planchets, others showed misaligned dies, and a few exhibited metal compositions that did not match official mint records. These anomalies were rare, often subtle, and easy to miss unless examined carefully. What drives high value in coins is not age alone, but scarcity combined with demand and a compelling story. A minting error that can be clearly identified, verified, and proven unique can elevate a common coin into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. With the 1989 Canadian 25-cent, whispers began circulating in numismatic circles about an error so extreme that it should never have left the mint. According to long-standing collector lore, one coin was struck during a brief and undocumented transition period when the wrong metal blank was allegedly fed into the press. This alleged error coin was said to differ dramatically from standard examples. Its weight did not match nickel specifications, its magnetic properties were inconsistent, and microscopic analysis reportedly revealed a layered structure unseen in any other Canadian quarter. Unlike typical errors that affect thousands of coins, this one was believed to be singular. Whether through accident or oversight, the coin entered circulation unnoticed, indistinguishable to the untrained eye. For decades, it was said to have passed quietly from hand to hand, its true nature unknown. The rarity of such a coin would not only lie in the error itself, but in its survival. Most unusual coins are either damaged, spent, or lost before their significance is recognized. In this story, the 1989 quarter was eventually discovered by a private collector who noticed inconsistencies while sorting through rolls of circulated change. The coin was reportedly set aside, examined repeatedly, and kept hidden from public view while experts debated its legitimacy. In numismatics, controversy often increases interest, and interest fuels value. As word spread among elite collectors, the coin became something of a legend. Its existence was discussed in hushed conversations, referenced in private correspondence, and speculated about at conventions. Because it was never publicly displayed, skepticism grew alongside fascination. Some believed the story was exaggerated, others believed it was impossible, and a few believed it was the most important modern Canadian error ever discovered. That uncertainty only added to its mystique. In the high-end auction world, perception can be as powerful as fact. When collectors believe they are competing for something truly unique, conventional price limits no longer apply. Wealthy buyers are not simply purchasing metal, they are purchasing exclusivity, prestige, and a place in numismatic history. The idea of owning a coin that should not exist can drive bidding into extraordinary territory, far beyond traditional market logic. According to the dramatic account that continues to circulate among collectors, the 1989 Canadian 25-cent error coin eventually surfaced in a closed, invitation-only auction attended by private buyers from around the world. No catalog listings were published, no public records released, and no photographs widely shared. What followed has become one of the most controversial claims in coin collecting history. It is said that after intense bidding, the coin sold for an astonishing $55 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever discussed in numismatic lore. Whether viewed as an unbelievable error, an exaggerated legend, or a cautionary tale about the power of myth in collecting, the story has permanently changed how some collectors view the 1989 Canadian quarter. It serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary-looking coin can carry an extraordinary story, and that in the world of rare coins, value is sometimes driven as much by mystery as by metal. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Coin Provenance for future updates about rare coins.
Stay tuned.